Hi, I'm Jillian Lopez.
I'm Miranda Lopez, and we are the Social Sisters.
The Social Sisters welcome everyone into our family.
We invite you all to sit back, get comfy, and jump into the hot seat. The hot seat being our teeny tiny cute couch.
So let's get to it. We have our coffee in hand. We are ready to go.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. All right, so today's guest, from co-founding a hospitality consulting agency to opening the most Instagrammable cafe in Las Vegas, these two are true female powerhouses. Between the two of them, they have law degrees, PhDs, 3 kids, 3 storefronts, several pop-up locations. They literally can do it all. And they can serve pizza and donuts from behind the same counter. So if you ask me, that's when you know you've made it. So please welcome to our cute couch, we have Alex and Lynn. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Oh my gosh, you have quite the resume. So I want to just take it back to the beginning. I would love for each of you to just jump in, tell me a little bit about your background, how you got to where you are now. Lynn, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so I'll kind of tell the story of Alex and I, because it's funny kind of how it happened. So I was working at UNLV. I have a law degree. I was the Associate Director of Admissions for the law school. And Alex was actually also working at UNLV. She was working in the provost's office, and we had a mutual friend, which is now her husband, who I used to, be in the Young Philanthropist Society with at United Way. And when I went to UNLV, he was like, Lynn, you have to meet my girlfriend Alex. You guys will hit it off. You both have the same visions. We both had these side projects that we were doing at the time. He's like, you're both on campus working there. I just think it would be nice for the two of you to have lunch, meet up, and then just kind of see how it goes. So we did. We had lunch one day, which usually she won't meet anybody for lunch. So that was huge. That was a good step. And we met, and then we planned this charity event together for Make-A-Wish. We worked together extremely well. And we're like, we kind of have something here. I had a group called Ladies Who Dine, which we paired philanthropy with dining events. And she had an online foodie influencer group. And so between the two of us, we were just able to put together an event, really target the demographic on social media and blow it out of the park. We had, I think it was 500 or 600 people come to, yes, come to Hyde nightclub, and we raised almost $40,000 for Make-A-Wish, and we were like, we really, have something here. And then we, Elizabeth Blau, who has been amazing and has been, one of our biggest cheerleaders, reached out and wanted us to do a happy hour event at Andiron, and we got, I think, almost 200 people there on a Tuesday night, and she was like, and my husband was actually working with her at the time, and she was like, Lynn, I know you've been kind of racking your brain around what you should be doing, not really want to practice law. She goes, I think you found out what you need to be doing. Yeah. And she goes, and actually, I'm going to hire the two of you to do marketing for all of our restaurants. And we're like, okay, but we don't do marketing. We don't even have a marketing she goes, well, you need to create one because I'm hiring the two of you to do it. So we literally
I remember doing it at the restaurant at Andiron.
At Andiron, we created
the website. She did the LLC. I did all the graphics. So we created it in 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, like a blind best friend date came. Yes. Like that's what led to all of this. That's so amazing.
Yeah, the Refine Agency was born, and that just got us to where we are now.
And I have to ask, we're sitting here in Cafe Lola. It's the cutest place. When you walk in, it's like a girl's dream come true. Can you tell us a little bit about how this came about? And I know there's a cute story behind it.
I can start.
I'll let you take it.
Kind of chime in with each other. But during the Refined Agency, we had probably, 10 clients at the time. And we would just run social media for them. So we didn't have an office because everything was on our phones, on our computers. So we were all over the city going to different coffee shops. And at the time, Lynn and I, I'm gluten-free, actually. I eat gluten-free. And she was also, she was trying to eat gluten-free or just she eats healthy, really, really healthy. So when we were trying to eat lunch, we were like, oh my gosh, there's nothing to eat at these cafes. There's packaged, pastries and there was never like a good salad or something good.
No matcha.
No matcha. Oat milk was like so rare to find back then, and this was 5 years ago. It's not like And then also the lighting wasn't, like, it was always like super dark in the coffee shops we were at. There was obviously no pink or flowers on the wall. It was all very brown and masculine.
Yeah, and just not inspiring.
Yeah,
you know?
So we kind of just always would find ourselves like hopping from one place to another. We never felt comfortable. We were actually focused on food and beverage clients mostly, and we saw the impact social media had on these clients, and we were like, we had all these good ideas, and eventually we decided to try our own, and we came up with the plan to start a coffee shop. And really it didn't, I don't know, I feel like it kind of transformed during that process, because at first we knew we wanted white walls, we knew we wanted it to be super feminine and pretty, and then we just started going we went a little bit further than our dreams could ever imagine, honestly, because Lynn has a really good design eye, and we were we found we just wanted to put florals in, and then we just kept going and going, and we're like, we need white here
and then chandeliers and pink, and
we're like, let's just design it like we would want our house to be, and how we want everyone to be able to walk through the store and feel completely welcome, and a place that they can call their second home. So yes, it does get very, very busy and popular, and on the weekends it's we have a line out the door, but I still think that when you walk in here, you feel welcome and you don't feel rushed. Like, you can sit down and enjoy it. And for us, that was the most important thing, is that we wanted you to feel like this was your second home and feel very welcome, feel very inspired, and be able to really feel that it was made with love.
And I think the sign of a good entrepreneur is really someone who goes and sees what's missing in a market, and I think you really latched onto that and figured out what people would love to have in Las Vegas, and it's a testament to your eye being able to figure that out. So I know it probably wasn't as easy as we're all making it sound, like we had an idea, we made an Instagrammable cafe, but what obstacles have you faced along the way? What would you say has been the most difficult part?
Oh goodness, I mean, there were several obstacles to getting a lease. There was a space that we were in love with, that we really, really, really wanted, and the landlord, he wasn't feeling it. I don't know if it was because, there's these two girls, they have a marketing company, now they want to open a cafe, and it's got flowers and it's pink. It was just, it was unheard of at the time. And we didn't really have the background in food and beverage, or so he thought. But what's great is we are both married to two amazing men who have been in food and beverage for 15, 20 years, running major fast casual restaurants to luxury restaurants on the Strip. So from an operations standpoint, they know food and beverage in and out. So that was something. That was something we had in our back pocket. So it was difficult to get a lease. We finally, thank God, found a landlord here in the space that we're in that was open to our ideas and actually knew about our marketing company and knew what we had done in the community. And he was like, you know what, I think this is a great idea. Let's go with it, let's do it. And that was one huge hurdle to overcome. Getting a small business loan was another huge hurdle. We would go into banks. Michael's her husband, he would set up meetings for us with these banks, and we would go in and we'd have these business plans, and they weren't taking us seriously. And then he actually finally found a smaller local bank, and the banker actually had attended some of our Women Who Slay events, and so she's like, I know Lynn and Alex, and so she gave us that shot to have that business loan. So there were a lot of hurdles.
Honestly, I think it really and I'm actually an introvert, so for me to network is like difficult. But with her, she's the opposite. So we would go to a lot of events, we would host a lot of events, and honestly, the networking part is so important when you're trying to do something. And
extremely.
For us, that was the only reason we're here, is because of relationships that we made along the way. So that's like a huge tip I could give someone who wants to open something, is that if you know where you want to go, you need to network with people who can kind of get you there. So
yeah, absolutely. And you guys are really involved in the community, and I know you have Women Who Slay, and you really support women in the community. And also, I know you guys have openly spoken about being minority women, and that is something I'm sure you are very, very proud of. So how does it feel to represent each of your communities and show, hey, we can do it all?
It's great. I mean, as minority women, you don't think about it, but when you do say that and you sit back, you don't always see people who look like you doing the things that you want to do. And that's troubling, and it's nice to see two women from these different backgrounds who got their PhD, went to law school, followed their dreams, didn't go on the track that everyone wants you to go on, really pushed the envelope and did these things that people are like, what are a doctor and a lawyer doing with a hospitality company? Well, that's what we wanted to do, and we got those degrees because we were able to. It was really something that you'll never ever be able to take away from us. It enabled us to know that we really can do anything. If you can get through that PhD, you can get through law school, you're able to, research, write, figure things out. That's really all it is at the end of the day. It's just having knowledge to know that you can do things. And I think that it's been, yeah, it does. Exactly, which is also probably one of the most important things, is really the belief in yourself and that confidence. Because if you don't have that, that's probably the biggest hurdle that you'll have to overcome.
Yeah, that's something we're learning as we go, and being confident, especially as women and starting a business. There's a lot to learn, and it's kind of just take each day as it comes, right?
We have a lot of friends, and they always come to us for advice now. And it's, we're always willing to talk, but I think the biggest thing that I hear is that women experience imposter syndrome a lot, where they feel like they don't have the experience to do something. And for us, we definitely went through that as well. So
we still do.
Yeah. Even still today, even with a marketing company, we were like, we don't have a degree in marketing. Do you think we'll even get clients? Like, why would they listen to us? But no one asks you what your degree is in. Mm-hmm. Nobody asks you. No one asks you what your background is. They just want to know what you can do for them. So if you're confident that you can help them, and you have the company, and you have the knowledge on how to help them, like they're going to hire you. And same with the coffee shop. I didn't even know how to use an espresso machine when we opened the coffee shop, and I didn't even drink coffee, to be honest. I was like, I just know I want to be in a place that serves like tea, but now I'm back there, I'm creating all of our drinks, So I think that just shows that if you love something and you believe in something, you put the work in, and you can figure it out, and then everyone comes to you, afterwards and says, okay, how did you do it? Mm-hmm. So, as soon as like Lynn said, if you believe in yourself, I think that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you now can show people what you've been through to be able to help them get to where they want to be. What would you each tell your younger self as you were embarking on this journey?
I think I would tell my younger self that all of those jobs that I had, and all of the degrees and going to school and all of the experiences were all for a reason. A lot of times you're like, okay, why am I doing this? How is this going to help me later on? This is a waste of my time. It's not. You're gaining some sort of experience, and you're gaining the knowledge that you will use down the road in some capacity. And I think a lot of times people forget that. They feel like they're wasting time, or they should be doing something right now. They haven't gotten to that point. It takes time, and it takes those experiences to get you where you want to be.
It's like the same.
I mean, I definitely agree with that 100%, but I also, being Latina, there's a lot of pressure, to get married or to have kids, and for me, I think you experience that pressure so much in your 20s that you don't enjoy that journey. And for me, I would definitely say something along the lines of that, to that you have time. And for me, I always like to tell people that it's possible. Like, your dreams are possible. You can have kids in your 30s. It's possible. We both had kids in our 30s. I was 35. She was 37.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so for me, like, that's the most important thing, is that, like, it's possible. Don't let anyone tell you how to do your life. Like, there's nothing. There's no timeline. There's no rules. Like, a lot of times women feel like they have that pressure behind them, but I think for me, that's what we kind of really, really want to showcase also. Mm-hmm. Not only being minority women, but we're in our 30s, and we're starting our families
now. I'm 40 now.
Yeah, she just turned 40. And we just started our families, honestly, because we wanted to pursue our goals first. And I guess I would just say good job to myself, because I'm actually proud.
Yeah.
I'm so proud. And you guys are now working moms. I'm sure this is a whole new chapter for you, and learning to navigate. How do you find the balance, and is it difficult at times?
And we like to say life-work balance, not work-life balance.
Yeah.
It's definitely tough. I remember when we didn't have kids, and we would work 24/7. I mean,
We were here till
we were,
midnight, yeah.
and you could, because, you know, it's like, oh, our husbands were here too, so it's like, you know, why not?
Yeah.
But now, having these babies, you know, I have a 2-year-old, she has a 3-year-old and a 4-month-old, you know, you really want to get home to see your little girl at the end of the day, and you want to be present. You know, a lot of times I'll find myself, she'll say, Mommy, come play with me, and I'll say, okay, and I'll take my phone, and I'll realize I'm not even playing with her, I'm answering emails or I'm answering text messages, and that bothers me. So now, you know, we both try to make an effort to, okay, the work day is the work day. It's really hard to do that when you're an entrepreneur, and it helps because there really are 4 of us doing this. So if I can't get to the text, or if Alex can't get to the text, or Steve can't, or if Michael can't, we know that someone else has our back. And so it allows us to be moms and really, you know, have that life-work balance, as you would say.
Definitely. Yeah, it's been a lot. I mean, the transition from 1 to 2 kids has been a lot harder because it takes a lot more time, and especially when they're newborns. So for me, it's like Lynn said, it's like amazing that there is 4 of us. My husband, Lynn, and Steve, they definitely have picked up the slack when I was delivering my baby. I did try. I mean, I'm answering emails in the hospital. Like, when you own your
try,
own
but you
business,
can only do so much.
yeah, when you own your own business, yeah, like it's 24/7,
Yeah.
and you are checking. But at the end of the day, I do go home and I do try to have like dinners. You know, I try to put my phone away. I love to have like Sundays with my family. And there's just some dedicated things I won't miss, like my little girl's gymnastics class. Like I take her to that every week, you know, and I think we just put it on the calendar and we just make sure, you know, that everyone knows where we are, and we just make it happen. So I think there's just certain things that, you know, as long as I live at my schedule is like, somewhere the second I wake up till I go to bed, I'm scheduled out, you know. So, but I schedule time in with her too, and both my daughters. So I think it's important, if you are that busy an entrepreneur, you need to schedule that time too.
Yeah, I think it's really important. And as they're talking, I'm anxious to hear your answer to this, because this is something we talk about a lot when you're constantly working towards new things. And, you know, I'm sure you open this and then you expand it, and it's always something. Do you ever feel like you've reached the top and this is it, or you're always pushing forward? I'm always like, when do you stop? Because there's always more to do.
Oh my gosh,
We
you
always
should see
say
our
that.
book.
Yeah.
We have a list. We call it the list.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's crazy, and we talk about this all the time. We've done so many things, but we honestly, we don't even realize it. Because it's like, okay, let's open Cafe Lola 1, let's work on Cafe Lola number 2, let's work on St. Honoré, let's do this, let's do this. We don't even like stop to take a breath to say, oh my gosh, we just opened a cafe, because we're always looking like 10 steps ahead. So, I mean, we always talk about that. We're like, wait a minute, okay, this is real. We have a couple of these. Now we have a location in Raiders Stadium. But I mean, we're just, thank you. But we are, I mean, now we're actually working on, I guess if we call that location number 3, we are actually actively working on number 4, and we'll be announcing that soon. But yeah, we're always, you know, our sights are set on growth and really, you know, making our mark not only here in Vegas, but across the country. So we can't really stop we gotta keep it moving. We really do.
You guys are just getting started, I feel like.
And I think just the last question is really, how do you stay motivated? Is there something that you do for yourself every day, or self-talk, or something that really, a mantra that helps you keep going and keep growing?
I think it just comes naturally to them. They're like, it's just in their blood.
It's each other that really helps push, you know, that motivation. Because I know that she's going to be there, or she knows that I'm going to be there, and we'll always, you know, I think there's moments where we're like, should we do this, you know? And if I'm really like hyped about something, she's like, okay, let's do it, you know? And same with her, you know? And I think I think having a partner that really understands and we work well with together, I think that it's so easy to stay motivated, because there's always something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So we, and you know, I probably wouldn't be actively looking for leases all the time, you know, but she always is, you know, she wants to grow.
Well, that's
so
what I
fast.
wanted. And that's what I love to do.
Yeah, and I mean, the amount of things I create to keep this place, like, you know, with all the trends and, you know, all the social media trends, and I try to keep on, you know, with the seasonal and the Christmas holidays, you know, she, like, the fact that I create all this stuff, she gets super excited, you know, so I think, you know, it's really nice that we can be there for each other that way, I guess.
Yeah.
I like the yin and yang to each other. You're inspiring us because I think when you run a business with somebody else, you have to be mindful of that, but also motivate each other and kind of balance each other out. And it seems like you guys do just that. And you mentioned seasonal, and it just made me think of your TikTok. You are killing it, by the way. I love seeing how everything is made. Like, you guys just welcome everyone in to learn behind the scenes and what really goes into it. And I think that's what makes it so special. So congratulations, you guys, on everything. Like I said, I think you two are only just getting started, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Thank you.
Cheers, ladies.
Yes, I was going to say we need a
Cheers.
Thank you guys so much.
If you're interested in sharing your story, send a message to hello@thesocialsisters.co.
And tell us why you deserve a seat on our teeny tiny cute black and white couch, because in our family there's room for everyone.